deviate one little bit from the Democrat agenda. You got not even a smidgen. You could be the best Democrat in the world, but think there should be some sort of a limit on abortion, and they will attack you like crazy. All of a sudden, you're persona non grata, and you got to go. You got to be investigated. Latest case of this is, now remember, the Democrats loved Donald Trump up until the moment he announced he was running for president as a Republican. Then they hated him. Oprah Winfrey loved him. The ladies on The View loved him. I mean, heck, he was on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was on all of these shows. Won a NAACP award with Rosa Parks. Jesse Jackson loved him. Al Sharpton loved him. Oh, everybody loved him. Until he became a Republican and ran for president. And all of a sudden, he was a radical racist. Okay, all right, we get it. We understand. Fine. People on the left used to love Elon Musk. They thought he was awesome. He builds rocket ships. He was on, what is that program? What is that program? The Big Bang Theory. He was one of the big, they talked about Elon Musk all the time on the Big Bang Theory. If that show was still on, I guarantee you they wouldn't be talking about it. Because all of a sudden, because what was his big crime that he committed against the Democrats? Oh, I got you. He advocates for freedom of speech. He wants Twitter to be a free speech platform for people. And for that, the Democrats say no. All these liberals out there talking about how they're going to leave Twitter, Whoopi Goldberg leaving Twitter. Because why? Because there might be the possibility of somebody that's going to be sharing a viewpoint that doesn't agree with yours. That they cannot have. They cannot have that. They cannot have it. Even Joe Biden is now saying that there might be reason to investigate Elon Musk. Mm. Ah. There's a lot of ways. So in other words, what he said, this was intimidation. This is just an intimidation tactic by Joe Biden and the Democrats. You have stepped across the line, Elon Musk. You have stepped across the line. And now, for your transgression, you're going to be investigated. What did he do wrong? Well, I don't know. I don't know if he did anything wrong, but I didn't think that's the way we did things in this country. I didn't think we opened up investigations just because you didn't like what somebody was doing. I thought it was you get evidence or somebody reports evidence of wrongdoing and you investigate that. Kind of like your son, Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, and Joe Biden, the big guy, and the 10%. Kind of like all the evidence that was given to you right there in the movie My Son Hunter. He wants to investigate Elon Musk. Are you investigating Tesla? Did you investigate him when he was with Tesla? No, you were working with him. You were working with him on the space program. Did you investigate him when he put up Starlink? No. You were glad it was up. You want to use it in Ukraine. Then they started talking about taking over his satellites. But now because Elon Musk believes in freedom of speech, he's got to be investigated. Over at The Wrap, they published a story. This is the essential source for entertainment insiders. story that was written by Benjamin Svetky. Hey, Hollywood, Elon Musk is turning your Tesla into a MAGA hat on wheels. The car is sleek, cool, and lets you virtue signal at 60 miles an hour. But the more Twitter's new owner opens his mouth, the more embarrassing it is to drive one. Ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, see, it's about Twitter. It's not about Tesla. It's not about SpaceX. It's about Twitter. Ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, I've been reading about how droves of celebrities are fleeing the social media site. Whoopi Goldberg, Shonda Rhimes, Leah Leone, Sarah Bareilles, if that's how you pronounce her name, Tony Braxton, Gigi Hadid, whoever. They've all announced on Twitter, where else, that their intentions were to shutter their accounts and leave. I salute these celebrities for decamping from the platform. I'm 100% in favor of a Twitter exodus. In just his few short weeks as owner, Musk has fired half his staff, retweeted a despicable conspiracy theory about Nancy Pelosi's husband, invited a mentally ill rap singer back onto the site to spread anti-Semitic bile, kicked comedian Kathy Griffin off after she had the audacity to poke fun at him, and decided to charge people $8 to have a little blue check mark next to their names.
You got a caller.
Wow. Unbelievable. Let's go to Paul in Conway and talk to him. Paul, how you doing?
I am good. So I listened to you on Election Day, and there were people calling left and right saying somebody had some stuff under their hat. There was a box here, and you were going right along with everybody going. You even actually said, oh, yeah, the steal is in on this election, too. So now that the Republicans won in landslides in South Carolina,
right?
What election investigations are you now calling for? Since yesterday, you were going along with everybody and their brother claiming that all these discrepancies were going on in South Carolina and that the election and the votes weren't being tabulated right. You were going right along with all these people.
So, no, Paul, I think you've got your, maybe your medication is off, because I didn't say there was cheating going on. I said there was some strange things going on, which usually happens in elections, kind of like people showing up to vote and all of a sudden being told at the polling place that they have voted at for the past 20 years, their name is no longer on the rolls.
Okay, so when you said the steal is continuing, which election in South Carolina was stolen that is continuing?
I wasn't talking about the South Carolina steal. I wasn't talking about the steal in South Carolina.
So when the caller from Pickens or wherever, Walhalla, was calling about somebody had some ballots in a box, and you said the steal is continuing, you were really talking about the presidential election from 2 years ago.
No, I was more talking about like what's going on in Arizona and what happened in New York.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Never
wow.
All the local callers.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about your election, of which the Republicans won in a landslide. I'm talking about some elections from years ago, not the one that you're calling about, saying this happened to me 45 minutes ago. So you're just on purpose trying to pull the wool over people's eyes.
No, I think, Paul, what you're doing is you're taking my words and twisting them and actually lying about what I said.
No, I listened to it, man. That's exactly.
Did you? Well, I certainly appreciate you listening, but you might want to clean your ears out, because that's not what I said. Did I say were there strange things going on? Absolutely there were. Those things happen in all of the elections. But when you show up, and I know people try to cheat, I've got absolutely firsthand experience with that. Get a grip there, Paul. Medication. It's a good thing. We'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD. Thursday evening, and of course we got the possibility of that storm coming through tonight. 10 to 20 mile an hour winds sustained. They could be gusting up to 40 miles an hour at times. So if you got anything out there, lawn furniture, anything like that that's still out, you might want to secure that tonight because it could be in your neighbor's yard come tomorrow morning. I guarantee you, any leaves that are going to be that are left on any of those trees out there, they're going to be gone by the weekend. Okay, Ingles Market Talk Line, 800-347-1063 is the number. And, of course, the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, 71307. Charlie, I used to drink for fun, but after listening to some of your calls yesterday and today, I now drink for survival and to stay out of jail. Oh, I know. Charlie, do you know what I like to do to people riding around this time of night and in this weather with no lights on? Oh, I want to hurt them. I don't look. I don't understand the lights thing. Now, my wife's car, the daytime running lights, those things are so bright that I almost, and I don't, she doesn't have the automatic function. My car has I just put my lights on automatic. No, I take that back. I just turn my lights on. And when I turn my car off, the lights go off. Pretty interesting. There's a little setting there that I can do that. But my wife's car doesn't have that. But her daytime running lights are so bright that sometimes I forget to turn her lights on. But one thing that always gets me, like when it rains, how come here we are in 2022, when you turn your windshield wipers on, they don't turn the lights on? How come? I would have thought that had been a great feature. Charlie, daytime running lights don't turn the taillights on. I know that. I mean, I realize that. But that's the reason is those lights are so bright that I forget to turn it on until I look down on the dashboard and then all of a sudden see, hey, none of the instruments are lit. And then I go, oh, there you go, dummy, turn the lights on. So that takes care of that. Yeah, I do understand. What it's like about the people driving around out there. Charlie, I'm so glad someone has the cojones to call out liars like Paul. We need more men like you on earth. I appreciate that. Charlie, how can Pauline be so passionate about a corrupt system? You're right. I don't know. You would think the most important thing we do as Americans is cast a vote. Cast a vote. And if we don't have full confidence in our elections, what do we have? And that's what 2020 was all about. That's why everybody was so upset in 2020, because we had all of these discrepancies, all of these, Supreme Courts overruling state legislatures and all of that. And if people can't have, and that's why, we had Ken Paxton in Texas filed that lawsuit that Nancy Mace was against down in the 1st Congressional District. Thanks, Nancy. Because if somebody steals a vote, if somebody casts a vote illegally, it steals somebody's vote. You are having your vote stolen from you. Wish that lawsuit had gone through. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show. When we get back, they're asking you not to do something at the national parks. We'll tell you what this is coming up next on the Charlie James Show. 106.3 WR.
the right talk.
What?
Charlie?
Hey, Upstate, welcome.
Yeah,
This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking over here. What are you? What are you doing over here? You're talking over here. Told you a few minutes ago that in Colorado, they passed a resolution, and it was Resolution 122. It is the psychedelic mushroom bill, saying that the possession and the use of certain psychedelic plants and fungi is now decriminalized for people 21 and older. And the state will create a new regulations for the distribution and administration of these substances. So here's the thing, though. And I'll be honest with you, Tim, I like you. I think you're a good guy.
Yeah.
But if you came to me and you said, "Hey, Charlie, you know, I love you. I know you like to cook. No, you like to make your own sauces and you bake and all of that stuff. I got these mushrooms. I picked these mushrooms from my backyard, and maybe you could use them in your spaghetti sauce."
Oh, yeah?
I would say, "Thank you, Tim. I really appreciate it." And then when you left, I would throw them away because I don't trust mushrooms.
You don't trust mushrooms?
I do not trust mushrooms. No, unless
Okay, let's be clear, though. I would never do that.
Okay, well, good. Tim would never do that. But if you or anybody else, because I don't know the difference in a poisonous mushroom and a non-poisonous mushroom.
The ones
Because
you buy from the store aren't poisonous.
exactly. But there's a little chain of custody there that I'm pretty confident in, because these things are farmed. They're not, you aren't just walking around in the woods and picked up one of these mushrooms and thought, "Hey, that looks cool. It might be good in spaghetti." So I don't trust mushrooms. I don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise that.
I don't do it. And I'll be honest with you, even the mushrooms that you get at the grocery store, still get a little nervous about. Unless they're in the can with a green giant on them, I'm really not confident in mushrooms. So the fact that these people in Colorado are walking around eating psychedelic mushrooms, I mean, some of the mushrooms, some of them are like, if you eat that mushroom, you've got two choices. The first choice is a liver transplant. That's it. The second choice, write your will, say goodbye to your loved ones. Those are the two choices with some of these mushrooms out there. That's why I don't trust them. None. But then you got to think, how did we even start eating mushrooms? Am I right about this?
Yeah, I've wondered this.
Because after the first person died, you'd have been like, no, nah, yeah, let's go find something else.
Yeah, let's not eat those,
No.
weird things that grow
Let's not do that. No, that's too creepy for me. Let's not do it. Poor Schmolke. He died a couple of days ago.
That's a really good question, though. 'Cause, what do they do? Like, learn through process of elimination?
That's exactly how they learn, through process of elimination. How many people had to die eating mushrooms before they went, "Oh, okay, those are the poisonous ones"?
Well, Tony's down.
Yeah. Hey, there
Can't
goes
eat
Tony.
those ones.
Hey, Tony, I can't have your spaghetti sauce over here. He makes the greatest marinara sauce. We put the mushrooms in there. They're fantastic over here. He's dead as a doornail, but boy, he makes a good marinara. So I don't do mushrooms. Certainly not psychedelic mushrooms in that.
Oh, of course not.
And there's another thing that you will never, ever catch me doing. Licking a frog. Okay?
Wait. I don't think anybody would do that, right?
Oh, but you would be wrong. You would be wrong. In fact, the National Park Service is warning people to avoid licking frogs in national parks.
Oh, my God.
That's right. Last week, the National Park Service shared a black and white photo of a Sonoran desert toad that was captured on a motion sensor camera and shared information about the species that included warning against licking it. As we say, with most things you come across in the national park, whether it be a banana slug, unfamiliar mushroom, or a large toad with glowing eyes in the dead of night, please refrain from licking, the National Park Service wrote on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty sad that you have to tell people that.
It should be. Yeah. But the toads known as the Colorado river toad are some of the largest toads in North America. They're about 7 inches in length. They have protruding parotoid glands just behind their eyes that secrete a potent toxin that can make you sick if you touch the frogs or get the poison in your mouth. But people have also discovered that these secretions contain a powerful hallucinogenic called 5-MeO-DMT. Smoking toad venom has grown in popularity across the United States, according to an entry in the addictioncenter.com about toad venom addiction and abuse.
Well,
I don't mean to laugh about addiction. I don't, because I know it's a horrible thing. But if you're addicted to licking toads,
well, DMT is like a very powerful hallucinogenic, and you can actually go on YouTube and like look at stories from people that's done it. It's crazy.
But see, that's the thing. I don't have to go on YouTube. I don't have to go on YouTube to know that licking a toad is not the best thing to do.
Well, that's not the only way you can extract DMT.
And again, something I don't need to know.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. Somebody said the fact that people need to be reminded not to lick things found in national parks is pretty disturbing. Somebody said, don't lick the toads. Well, there goes my weekend plans.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had planned this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Honey, what are you doing this weekend? Well, I thought we'd go up to, Flat Rock and lick some toads. Good grief.
My wife would look at me like I was nuts.
And again, who's the first person? I said, hey, I'll bet you $100 you won't lick that toad right there. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
You watch what I do.
You know that's how.
And then the next thing, they're dancing around naked with their body, covered in cow dung or whatever. I'm just the human species. I'm telling you what. It is amazing that we have lasted that long.
It really is.
It's amazing that we're still here.
Charlie,
Charlie,
not everybody's like that.
No, but enough of them, apparently.
Yeah.
Enough of them. Somebody says the new camera looks good, crystal clear. Love that big American flag. That's old glory. That was the original flag that we put up at this house. So it got a little frayed on it. So I decided to put it in a place of distinction here in the studio. Hey, Charlie, he's a psychedelic mushroom, even growing in cow poop. Cow poop, you have to pick it out of the cow poop.
Yeah, I knew that. His face is priceless.
Two things that all right, peanut butter and chocolate, great. Mushrooms and cow poop? No. Hey, Charlie, if you need horse dung, I have plenty. I might actually take you up on that. I could use some horse dung. I'm going to be putting in some plants coming up here in a little bit.
But the question is who was the first person to eat a mushroom growing out of cow poop? Like that's always been my question.
I'll bet you $100 you won't eat that mushroom growing out of that cow poop.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, all right, hold my beer again. Oh my gosh. Charlie, lick a cane toad. It's guaranteed to. Well, what about the poison dart toads? The poison dart frogs.
Those are probably.
Those things are okay. Well, that's why they call them poison dart frogs, because they're poison.
Of course.
I don't understand. I swear I don't understand people. I don't get it. Eating mushrooms, licking toads.
They're just looking for a fix, man. I guess. I have no idea.
I swear to you. Oh my goodness. They're just, the human species. Speaking of the human species, when we get back, Tim, we're going to be talking about UFOs. Okay?
Yes. And
UFOs were actually talked about in one of the recent bills. I believe it was the Inflation Reduction Bill. I'll give you some more details about that. But this is a government document that talks about UFOs and how it could be the next big scam by the government. You don't want to miss out on this. I mean, I know we talk about crazy UFO stuff, but this is like serious how they could use this as the next psychological warfare on Americans and people around the globe. That's coming up next. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD. Back to the program. Glad to have you along with us on this Thursday night. UFOs. Now, usually we talk about UFOs kind of tongue in cheek and, and all of that. But with some of the videos that have come out, it's become more and more believable. Right, Tim? I mean, usually we're like, oh, UFOs, you're seeing little green men and all of that stuff and things are crazy. But with some of the videos that we've seen here recently, I mean, you got to admit, you go, wow, what the heck is that?
It would seem that, yeah, we're not alone in the universe. Yes.
You're right. Or are we? Or are we? Where are these things coming from? Well, even the United States government has admitted that some of these things are not man-made. Or at least that's what they're saying.
Some of them are not man-made.
Nazi war criminal and former NASA director Wernher von Braun on several occasions admitted that we had help from extraterrestrials. We found this out in some of the WikiLeaks documents. At the end of his life, he also warned that a fake alien invasion hoax will at some point be used by governments as psychological warfare in the bid to further control their populations. He said, the last card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens, and all of it, he said, was a lie.
Right. I've actually heard this theory before.
So, in the what is this thing called? It was the trying to find the name of this thing that was passed. Oh, darn it! Trying to find this. It was a government funding bill that had funding towards our the Intelligence Authorization Act of 2023.
Right.
The budget that governs America's clandestine services. Congress made two startling claims. The first is that cross-domain medium threats to the United States national security are expanding exponentially. The second is that it wants to distinguish between UFOs that are human in origin and those that are not. Temporary, non-attributed objects, I guess that's the new name for them, are those that are positively identified as man-made after analysis, will be passed to appropriate offices and should not be considered under the definition as unidentified aerospace undersea phenomena. That's a government document. I'm looking at the document right here. Modification of requirement for office to address unidentified aerospace undersea phenomena. At the time when cross-domain transmedium threats to the United States and national security are expanding exponentially, I just read all that to you. That is from the document itself. Okay?
Wow.
So what Van Braun said was that this could be another hoax by governments in order to further gain control of the people. All of these Congress people, especially folks like Marco Rubio, are compromised, they say, and CIA handled. Some people are saying they're criminals. They're working against their constituents as part of the unconstitutional CIA. Wernher von Braun, a man who was imported from the SS by the OSS, which fused into the CIA, warned us about this strategy. In early 1943, 2 days after the death of Nikola Tesla, the Federal Bureau of Investigation ordered the Office of Alien Property Custodian to seize Tesla's belongings. Trump was called in to analyze the Tesla artifacts, which were being held in the government custody. After a 3-day investigation, Trump's report concluded that there was nothing which would constitute a hazard in unfriendly hands.
Wait, so he got to see the Tesla
Yeah,
artifact?
he got to see it. Yeah.
What?
And Donald Trump, remember, it was not long after that Donald Trump directed the Department of Defense to establish the Space Force.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, what happened to
when
that?
that happened.
Where'd that go?
Yeah, like he announced it at C-SPAN and
CPAC.
I'm sorry, CPAC. And yeah, I haven't heard anything else about it.
Yeah, it just kind of went away, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a thing. Now, I thought Space Force was there to protect us against like hypersonic missiles that can go up, breach our atmosphere, travel at supersonic speeds, and then come down as a weapon. But some people are saying that all of these phenomena that we're seeing, pretty soon, eventually, one government or another is going to be talking about an alien invasion and try to get its populace under control.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Would it? It would. No, it wouldn't surprise me a bit. I
Yeah.
mean, after all, what else have they lied about? Right?
Yep, and all the real conspiracy theorists are just gonna be laughing at them.
Climate change, lied about COVID, lied about the vaccine, lied about all of these things. You don't think they would lie about UFOs?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Absolutely,
They've been
they
lying
would.
about UFOs for like the last like
Since
60
Operation Blue Book.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Since Roswell.
since Roswell, yeah, exactly right. All right, we'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD.
Charlie at 71307.
Powered by Common Sense Retirement Planning.
Be a part of the Charlie James Show.
Come on, let's talk. 1063 WORD.
Welcome back to the program. Glad to have you along with us on this Thursday. Going to have some high winds. Should be starting in just about 23 minutes, right around 7 o'clock. We got a wind advisory going on. It's going to last all through tomorrow night this time as well. 10 to 20 mile an hour sustained winds, could be gusting up to 40 miles an hour. That's going to be significant out there. Hey, Charlie, Trump came up with the government agency to stop cyber attacks, and now the government agency censors conservatives. Exactly right. That's exactly what they do. I mean, we found out how much the government was working. You want to talk about Joe Biden saying we need to investigate Elon Musk. Here's what we need to how come nobody investigated Jack? How come nobody investigated what's his name? What's the guy's name over on Facebook? Zuckerberg. How come nobody investigated Zuckerberg and all the Zuckerbucks? Well, there's a reason for that. They went along with the Democrat plot. Pure and simple. Jack was more than willing to shut down conservatives on Twitter. Everybody left him alone. Oh, I think we've hit upon it. If you want to be left alone, you do what the Democrats tell you to do. If you want to be left alone, swallow the talking points, hook, line, and sinker, and you'll be left alone. But don't you dare cross that line. Don't you dare allow conservatives to have a voice on Twitter, because if you do, well, we're going to have, surely we're going to have to look into some of your dealings with foreign countries and sharing in technology with them. Surely we're going to have to do that. Same technology. With what? From Twitter? Are you talking about from Twitter? Or are you talking about with SpaceX or Tesla? Which one of the two or three are you talking about? And how come Elon Musk was never a threat until he started advocating for freedom of speech? Then all of a sudden, you got to get rid of your Tesla. You know, we don't like space travel anymore. We don't like freedom of speech anymore or anything like that. It's crazy. Let's not forget that these are the same people that raided Mar-a-Lago. And where's that? By the way, they are absolutely, now that the election is over, because they didn't want to chance the election, I guarantee you within the next, week or two, somebody is going to be announcing that they are going to indict Donald Trump. Okay? Remember that. Remember I said that. So everybody over on in the mainstream media is talking about how horrible it was for the Republicans on election night. Well, according to Cook Political Report, as of this morning, Republicans have won 50,113,534 votes. That's 52.3% of the vote, compared to 44,251,768 votes, or 46.2% of the vote. Republicans lead in the popular vote by 6.1%, which is better than their average in generic congressional ballot polls, in which the party led by 2.5% in the final Real Clear Politics average before the election. But Republicans have only managed to flip 9 seats so far, likely enough to control the House, but short of the wave that a lot of people were expecting. So now, by comparison, and we talked about this a little while ago with Drew McKissick, by comparison, during the Tea Party wave back in 2010, where the Republicans won 63 seats, Republicans won 44,593,666 votes out of 86 million some odd votes cast. That's 51.3%. So actually, by votes, this was a more successful election than 2010 and 2014 during the Great Tea Party wave. That's pretty impressive. But these are figures and statistics that the mainstream media are never going to tell you, and that's why they're waiting to announce the Kari Lake Masters election results in Arizona, because they want to go through all the talking points. They want to go through all the news cycles about what a disaster this was for Donald Trump and the Republicans. When the fact is, not so much. Maricopa County has actually come out and apologized to voters. Oh, we're sorry. Saying over the past 24 hours, we have learned more about the printer issue that caused some ballots not to be read at vote centers yesterday. While the issue impacted less than 7% of Election Day voters, about 17,000 ballots, we understand that for people who went through it, this was frustrating, inconvenient, and not how they pictured Election Day. We plan on getting to the bottom of it. Oh, I'm sure you do. Sure you do. In a ballot, Maricopa County Board of Supervisors Chairman Bill Gates, not that one, and Vice Chairman Clint Hickman said that all ballots will be counted securely and accurately. The issue with the printers occurred in about 70 of the county's 223 voting locations, officials said. Printer settings were later changed, fixing the problem. They didn't run tests? No, I guess not. But no, everything's completely on the up and up. We told you, I talked about it several times today, how ballots are more important than votes. And there is a big difference. Because dead people can't vote. People from out of state can't vote. People that aren't on the voter rolls can't vote. Illegal aliens can't vote. None of these people can vote. But they can certainly have ballots. And that's what the Democrats want to control. The ballots. Hey, Charlie, I'm in the same age group of people in Arizona as in Florida. If the Floridians can get it right, maybe we need to teach the people in Arizona how to count. Maybe so. Florida, bigger state than Arizona. Took them 5 hours. 5 hours to count the votes. Arizona, we still don't know the results yet. Still don't know. We'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 W.
The Charlie James Show on 106.3 WORD.
The Upstate's #1 talk station.
So we had a pretty long conversation yesterday about Trump versus DeSantis. And I will say this, once anybody announces that they're running for president, you got to earn that vote. You have absolutely got to earn the vote. Now, at this point, I'm a Trump supporter. But even he is going to have to earn my vote in the primary. So Trump has said some things here recently about Ron DeSantis, okay? Calling him Ron disingenuous, making some remarks about him. If Trump keeps attacking Ron DeSantis, how do you think that's going to affect his chances of being the nominee for 2024? Think it's going to help him, or do you think it's going to hurt him? Because I think right now, Ron DeSantis, I think it's a big mistake for Trump to be attacking DeSantis right now. Ron DeSantis deserves his moment in the sun because of the way he handled COVID, because of the way he handled CRT, the way he has handled gender ideology, the way he's handled the Department of Justice wanting to come in and monitor elections. I believe that he deserves his place in the sun. And I wasn't exactly crazy about Donald Trump coming in and saying some things about him, but we will see. I mean, again, you've got that one television show that is out there already attacking DeSantis. And they're doing it in a big way. Let me see if I can find this clip for you. I did want to play it. I didn't want to play it earlier in the program because, there are kids listening and all of that stuff at that time. But now here a little bit later in the show, we can play this for you. But there's a television show out there. In one of their episodes, they had a guy that, one of the characters was a speechwriter for DeSantis. And this guy goes to the police, he goes to this lawyer group, and he starts talking about how he was sexually assaulted by Ron DeSantis. And he goes into all of this stuff, and he claims to have DNA evidence and yada, yada, yada. And they're trying to decide whether or not to take this guy as a client. So, I mean, it's really is pretty amazing what the left does, because they own Hollywood, they own all of this stuff, and they've got that big platform. Ron DeSantis can expect to be attacked heavily if he becomes the front runner for 2024. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't think it's advantageous for Donald Trump to be attacking Ron DeSantis. I would love, and I understand the Constitution and all of that. They can't run for president and vice president if they're from the same state. But hey, who says Trump doesn't move back to New York? He could absolutely do that. He's got plenty of time. It's 2 years. So you tell me. But immediately they're trying to attack Ron DeSantis. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think Trump is hurting himself? You think so? Charlie, it will hurt Trump. He needs to back off the name calling. Somebody wants Trump for Speaker of the House. Somebody says that I don't trust DeSantis. I would have thought that Washington State would have had more trouble with the county, with counting the votes. Remember how they downgraded all of the scores so that even stupid people could pass basic. Yeah, I understand. And of course, 361 raised in. Trump deserves to go to jail for a little bit for January the 6th. His pushing of a vaccine that needs more studies. He absolutely deserves jail. Well, who's he going to go to jail with? Dr. Birx? Dasick? Fauci? Is he going to go to jail with all of those people? Is he going to go to jail with all the people at Pfizer and Moderna and BioNTech? Is he going to go to jail with those people? And what did he do on January the 6th other than tell people to go and peacefully let their voices be heard? How about that? Charlie, how about Carrie Lake on the ticket for vice president? Are you talking about Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis? I don't know. Charlie, Trump is his own enemy. I've been a Trump supporter. I didn't vote for him in the primaries because I never thought that they'd let him in. But come on, stop with the mouth deal and the facts deal with your successes. Don't keep doing the petty stuff. We'll see. Charlie, tell 361 to fly a kite. Okay, 361, go fly a kite. Charlie, has Ron DeSantis attacked Trump? I heard that he has. I haven't seen anything in public. He was asked the other day if he was going to run for president, and he said that he was not going to run. I'll tell you what. Tell you what he said. Well, this was Trump's statement about DeSantis. Let me see if I can find this here. Anyway, he said, he slams Ron DeSanctimonious as playing games. The fake news asked him if he's going to run if President Trump runs, and he says, I'm only focused on the governor's race. I'm not looking into the future. Well, in terms of loyalty and class, that's really not the right answer. This is just like 2015 and 16, a media assault, collusion, when Fox News fought me to the end until I won, and then they couldn't have been nicer or more supportive. So we'll see. Calling him Ron DeSanctimonious and all of that stuff. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, and people have been sending me stuff all day about Ron DeSantis and things that Trump has been saying. But this is big boy politics here. There was an interesting statement from President Trump today saying if CNN were smart, they'd open up a conservative network, only have me on, and it would be the most successful network in history. Fox only made it because of me. Twitter only made it because of me. And even Facebook is now in the tubes, having lost almost $90 billion in value since I was taken off, which was considered one of the biggest mistakes in business over the past 2 years, because with Trump go tens of millions of people who believe in MAGA. So is Trump overstepping his bounds right now? That's a question. Is he overstepping his bound right now? Or should he right now just kind of be laying low? Well, I'll tell you, if it were me, I'd be laying low. I would let DeSantis have his moment in the sun. Somebody is saying Ron DeSantis, Candace Owens in 2024. Charlie, I think they're both such big personalities. I agree he should never attack DeSantis. That's stupid. He did admit that he voted for DeSantis. You're right. He actually did. Charlie, I love Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. It bothers me that Trump is being so immature with the name calling. But I mean, that's the same argument that we've heard all along. I think it's going to get weird. I think it's going to get really weird. And who is going to fan the flames of all of this? The Democrats. The Democrats are going to try to come out with all of these narratives that all of a sudden there's this infighting and there's this bickering back and forth in the Republican Party, and there's dissension in the ranks in the GOP. They've already started that. Talking about with Kevin McCarthy running for Speaker of the House. They're going to start it. They're going to try to make the American people think that the GOP is in shambles and in complete disarray. Don't buy it. We are going to get out of here. Mark Levin is coming up next. Y'all have a great night. It's going to be very windy out there tonight. Y'all be careful, okay? Promise me you will. Promise. We'll be right back here tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. As always, we love you. God bless. Buckle up. Bye, y'all.